Okay, so this is block number 9, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a square on point. So this is a new thing that you haven't done yet, and so it still is a regular square. It's just a little bit different size than a normal. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew one of these dark gray triangles to opposite sides, and I'm going to have you press these to the square. Then after you finish that, we're going to sew 2 more of these triangles to the opposite. So you're going to have 4 of these eventually. This is going to be the center block of your block. And what we're going to do with this, I'm going to show you a finished block, is those 2 are going to iron to the outside. We've already ironed our first 2 to the square. The last 2 are going to sew to the outside. And the reason I said it's a square on point is because you see the square doesn't go flat, it goes like a diamond. And so this is our square on point, or a square in a square as it is called. Okay, so that's our first piece that we're going to do. Next, we're going to make a flying geese or a triangle unit. So we're going to sew one of the dark gray triangles to the light gray. And it's the same method that you've been doing all along. You use the long edge of the dark one and put it on a short edge of the gray. So let me iron this because I wanted to be able to show you that. And that is going to press away from the large triangle. So we're going to sew one more piece on here. So you will hear this as a flying geese, or you will read it in a lot of quilt directions. And we're just doing it a little bit different method because we have Accuquilt and we're able to cut the pieces exact so we don't have any waste. So this one we're going to iron away from the big triangle again, so towards your small triangle. And we have a triangle unit or a flying geese. And we are going to make 4 of these. So here's 2 of them, and then 2 of them you're going to leave like this, and then with the other 2, what you're going to do I have one here? Sorry. Okay, I skipped a step. So you see, even us experienced quilters can get ahead of ourselves. We're going to make 4 squares with our light pink and light gray triangles. So we have it like that. So this is called a half square triangle unit, and I'm going to sew one of those for you to see. So again, I'm sewing from that point to that point. It makes a perfect half square triangle. There's no trimming and no waste. And this unit I am pressing towards the pink. And sometimes you just have to, before you press, you lay it out with your quilt blocks to see where is my seam going to be, and you want to marry as many seams as you can without having bulk. Okay, so what we're going to do with those squares is we are going to take our 2 remaining units like this, and we are going to sew the triangle units to our flying geese. And so I want you to notice that the way it is. So the pinks are going to go to the outside, and we want this to come to the inside, because when we lay our square here, we want to make another star. So if we laid this way, our points of our star aren't going to work. So we're going to lay them this way, like this. And then we have another unit that's going to go right here. So what we're going to do now is we need to sew, let me move all of this out of the way so you can see. We're going to sew our flying geese unit to our square unit. So let me sew the second one. So there's really only one place on this block that you want to make sure that things are married really well, and that's where these 2 points meet. So because I don't pin, I just make sure that they lay really nice, and I'm going to hold it with my stiletto so that it doesn't move. And it's going to go right there where the point is, and sew the rest of this. So this piece I am gonna iron this seam open because we have 2 points here, and you see all the bulk right here. In fact, I'm gonna trim a little bit of this off of here. And I'm gonna iron this seam open. So see how I've ironed it open? It just lays a lot nicer. And that's a personal choice. Some quilters like to iron all of their seams open. I only do some of them because I don't like a big piece of bulk right there. Okay, so we have this unit. Now we're gonna take our unit that we sewed our little squares on, and we're gonna sew it onto our square unit. So here I've done one for you so you can see it. And now we're gonna sew the second one right here. So again, this is a really fun block that you could actually take that center square and put some embroidery in it, or you can use fabric that you really like and you can fussy cut something in there. You could also use this block as a really pretty one to make an entire quilt out of. So all of these fun skills that we're teaching you, you can use for all of your, all of your directions that you read, and it's just going to give you some really great ideas for how to do other quilts. And I have one last seam down here. So you'll see on the back of this that this one I ironed out this way. You could iron this seam open. It's no big deal. But here is a finished block for you to see. I'm going to lay it down here on our ironing table so that you can see it. And you can see what a pretty block that made. So we have our square and a square. It's a square on point. And then you have flying geese unit with the half square triangles. This is block number 9.